you were on call for Panthers Bears. Caleb Williams, best game of his NFL career against your former team. What did you see that was the most impressive out of Caleb?
I think how he settled into the game. I think we started the game, it felt a little bit herky-jerky. And then once he threw this pass to DJ, it's like he started to settle in. You saw him during the game making calls at the line of scrimmage, adjusting things, changing direction of the run game. Then his scrambling started to pick up. Not so much running, but just creating time in the pocket. He converted a couple third downs with his legs. So you saw a combination of, hey, college Caleb Williams, run around, throw it. And then you also saw what they've been talking about in his ability to be coached and get developed, change the play call, stay in the pocket, throw on time. The ball that he threw to DJ, that second touchdown pass, it was all timing. Single high man, I'm going to look the safety off. I'm going to come back to DJ. I'm going to make a great throw to him. DJ ran a great route. But it's that play right there is what an NFL quarterback does. Look front side, pull the safety, throw the ball to a spot where DJ is going to be. Like, that is what you want to see if you're Ryan Poles in that Chicago Bears front office. Like, we've got a guy that can do it. He showed everything you saw in college, from ability to scramble and run around, convert, throw the ball on the run. He had ability to make calls pre-snap, change formation, change plays.
Yeah.
And then he had the ability to sit in the pocket, look off a defender, throw a ball on time, and make a great accurate throw to DJ in the end zone. So it's frustrating that it happened against my team and the Panthers, but if you're the Bears, there's a lot that you like from that game.
And are you seeing him evolve? Like week 2 against the Texans, from there to now, what is the biggest area of growth that you've seen?
Confidence and feeling confident. And I think it's so hard to judge. So much gets put on these young quarterbacks early in their career, and if they start out in the first 3 weeks, they're terrible, we're always looking, oh, this is why he's not good. He's a bust. He's not this. Did the Bears make the wrong decision? Jaden Daniels is playing great. Instead of just like, hey, let this guy get in there and get his feet wet. He didn't play a ton during the preseason. Give him a chance to just settle in and feel the speed and get used to DJ and Roma Dunze and Keenan Allen and Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
Getting coached up a little bit and reading stuff. The first couple weeks, everything that got talked about was, yeah, he's not playing great. Yeah, he's not doing this, but he loves to get coached and he takes coaching.
It's great.
So to me, it's like the perfect storm of what you want for a young guy. He's willing to learn, and then boom, a couple weeks later, you see progress. So it's one thing that, oh, he wants to learn, he wants to do this, but then it doesn't translate. This past week and even last week too, it's translated to 2 really good games for him.
Really well said. We're back on FanDuel TV. We're on MSG Network, TNT Sports. Hello, YouTube. We are back. And I want to ask you now about the Panthers, now that everyone's watching. Bryce Young, he gets in the game late in the 4th quarter. I'm like, huh? So Canales named Dalton the starter for next week already. But he said Bryce did a, quote, fantastic job playing with energy, extending plays, which is all fantastic. What does that mean? What does that say to you?
Well, I think it starts before. In watching Bryce so for example, this throw right here, this was something that we saw out of him at Alabama and that we were really hoping for in Carolina. In the first couple weeks of the season and even in the end of last year, these throws were just a second off, right? And then now it's like, hey, he still can do it. He can still extend plays. He can throw a ball in the bucket. That ball there's a guy in his face. He's rolling to his right. He's got to throw it high and have it come right downhill to Miles Sanders because there's a defender right on his back. So Bryce still has all the tools and everything that we drafted him for as a number 1 overall pick. But I think his ability to just kind of sit back and watch how Andy's done it the last couple weeks has been very beneficial. And we saw it yesterday. We saw it the last 2 weeks. Bryce is very engaged on the sideline during the game. It's not like he's pouting on the sideline. There were a couple plays last week against Cincinnati where something happened with Andy, or there was a penalty or the play clock. There was a play clock issue. Andy comes to the sideline, and Andy's walking to the officials to talk to them about the situation, and Bryce is walking off the sideline to go talk to the officials. And it's interesting to watch Andy. Andy's walking to the officials. He sees Bryce and goes right to the huddle to talk to Canales, and Bryce goes talks to the official. So Bryce has been engaged the whole time. He hasn't lost anything. I think it's been really good for him to sit. But then when he got in there yesterday, ran around, extended plays, made those throws that we saw at Alabama that we wanted to see with him in Carolina. So, I mean, he's been great.
Will Bryce Young, I can tell you want it to work.
I'm a huge
I know.
I'm a huge
I
fan
know.
of guys having success, and perfect world. Bryce doesn't play the rest of the year because Andy's playing great, right?
Okay.
And then you see what happens towards, in the offseason with, I think Andy's a free agent this year, but I think Bryce still can do it. I think he's smart. He can make the throws. I think this could be something really good for him to just sit back and see what's going on. I mean, look at what New England's doing with Drake May. You've got a top draft pick. Let him sit behind a veteran guy and learn and see what it looks like and take a breath. And so I'm still a big proponent of Bryce, and I hope it works out.
Let's take it out of perfect world and come into realistic world. You know this team, you know the pressure, you know this. In your opinion, will Bryce Young start another game for the Panthers this year?
This year? I think that if Andy's playing well, then no. I think if we continue to struggle, I don't think right now our offense is what's holding us back. We didn't play great yesterday. We just really struggled on defense, and we just got put behind the 8 ball. And we want to talk about running the football and being balanced, but when you go down multiple scores, it just gets very difficult to do that. So I think it's less about are we going to see Bryce again and more about can we find ways to get stops on defense.
But are we going to see Bryce out there like mop-up duty, like at the end of the game, and then there's all this talk about the offensive line and like not wanting to get Andy hurt? Like there's all this do you think we'll see Bryce Young on the field?
I think he'll be on the field again. Is he going to start another game?
Yeah, probably not.
I'm not sure.